conversation with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. Yeah, lately I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Got up in the morning, took a shot of Ciroc. Girl, you left my stomach in a knot. Took my lighter and you burned the bridge. Thought you was a writer, no, you just an idol. You got me feeling like Big Sean in this 5, 4, 3, 2. I deserve a minute, wait a minute. Gotta get up and over, regain my composure. No longer my lover, finally finished and you did it. Girl, you really showed me, think with your heart, don't think with your body, clever. Sorry not sorry, sorry not Justin Timberlake, write me a river. Lately I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. You tried to convince me it was all in my head, and I felt like it's not you, it's me instead. And I wanted to rock with you, roll with you. Said you was my baby girl, then you left me too. Everything was kosher, perfect like a poster. Then I got word that you wanna lead a picture. Off with somebody else, off with the jerk. Shame on me, I really thought that it could work. Off with somebody else, off with the loser. Shame on me, I really thought we had a... Lately I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. Yeah, lately I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody.
Yes, global greetings, Wally. Global greetings, La Amiga. Rest of the entire Eastern Caribbean, wherever you may be around the world, locked into another edition of DeTopiks here on Real Entertainment Network. And this evening, we've got a very, very exciting show coming your way, an exclusive, as we have our regular guests, as Shabazz Bankie King, and we also have the originator, the original host, Alan Powell, here with us, and we have our special guest this evening, Curtis Crooke, and we are anticipating a very interesting, informative, historical, educational, and fiery edition of the topics this evening. And so, as we want to make use of the time, as much time as possible, we're going to get the show rolling pretty early. Just want to say in terms of housekeeping matters. We want to encourage folks to log into Facebook, share the Facebook link, go over to our YouTube platform, subscribe, like, share, and encourage even your enemies to log in and subscribe to our platform here on Real Entertainment Network. Good evening, greetings, Bankie. Welcome to another edition of DeTopiks. What's going on with you on your ends?
Yes, greetings, Yahsonn. Greetings to our guests. Greetings to Curtis and our hosts, the original. Alan, big up yourself. Welcome. Long time coming. And greetings to those who listen to the sound of my voice in Oli and Layamiga, which is the traditional name for St. Kitts and Nevis. Greatly appreciate the guys tuning in, not forgetting the neighboring islands, Sabre, Statia, St. Martin, the US Virgin Islands, and the BVI. Also the folks over in Montserrat, Guadeloupe, Martinique, and also folks over in Bermuda. So my boy Alan visiting an island, will practically live here, he and his wife. So Alan, good evening to you. Also want to send out my condolences to the Atleys and Lebot family. The last, their older brother Doval Atley. I've known Atley over the years when it comes to the agricultural sector, doing his farming, both in his yard and at a 2-acre lot then behind the Abattoir Prospect. Very keen and loving gentleman. He can be one family guy and one of the better carpenter, I can say. When you see these guys cut some wood and they put everything together, like people, brilliant. So just want to say condolences again to his wife and his children, Yahsonn and all the rest, like siblings. Beautiful family. Today was his sent off and well attended at the Church of God at Coricourt Prophecy Day. At the park all the way up in the middle of the village. So how much vehicles was there, and to show that this gentleman was well loved. And when you see his older brothers shedding tears, you know he will be missed. So all that you do, just keep his memory going as he lived to them. So just want to say that, put that out there. And when he was all his siblings is very close, Mull, Fensick, and all the rest, and Vem and all them guys. So good evening to the folks in the diaspora. North America, Florida Keys up to Maine, also folks over in Europe, different time zone. So whichever is appropriate, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the next edition of the Topics. Our guest this evening will be Mr. Curtis Crooke. I see him as a community man, a cricket lover, and also someone who have love for the Labour Party. And he's always one of those person who is very open when it comes to his views and stuff like this. If something is wrong with even the party support, we'll speak about it. So sometimes he'll get bashed from his own, inside his own party that he support. And these things are needed, you see what I mean? Because the reality, we are the shepherd and the politicians are those that we put there to represent us are the sheep. So they're supposed to really look up to us. And if something is wrong, and that is one I give Curtis his respect for. Many are not like that. You understand? And he's always quick to respond and to make corrections and stuff like that. And he must be commended for his activism and stuff like that within the community. So just always, when I listen to him speak, so I think it's fitting to always give him that platform to have a say, especially a whole show. So that's the reason why Curtis is here, to educate us about the Labour Party and over the years and lead up into independence and do a forward and stuff like that. Remember, when it comes to reasoning, we are going to have different views and all this stuff, but we have to deal with is the facts. The facts is what is important, and not views and opinion, and that is very important. And the topics, the educational show, just like the Everything Agriculture show. Also, next week, Tuesday, we have a different guest out of St. Croix, Chang or Chikayo, and next young youth rising up, want to take part and run for governor. And we want to give him the platform to express himself, what brought him into these things the same way. So we're going to get into it. Alan, what's going on with you? Alan Freeze? Alan? All right.
Alan.
Good evening. What's up with you?
Okay. Greetings, Curtis.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
How are you? Good evening and welcome. Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, well, I want to say good evening to everybody. In St. Kitts, in Nevis, around the diaspora in Europe. I want to say a special thanks to you guys for inviting me to
Yeah.
be on, the shows like this. I know I'm listening to you guys a lot too over the years. So
Appreciate it.
again, I've been on the other
Thanks.
guys' show before, but it's a pleasure. As I keep saying, as I said to you the last time, we all are one people. Think it's
Yes.
Nevis, it's people. I I
Yes.
I don't see man from Nevis. I mean, I can remember Alan Small when he was younger, when he used to be playing the cricket. I know him from cricket.
Okay.
I remember he left when last
Okay.
school. So I'm saying, at the end of the day, I keep saying to our people, we must always remember that we are people. Somebody from Nevis, somebody from Sinkets, but at the end of the day, we are one people. And I always believe in
Beautiful.
people. Even as a Labour Palmer, don't believe me. My goal is to make sure that people are happy, make sure my surrounding is happy. And again, I want to thank you
Beautiful.
guys for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Okay, so who is Curtis Crooke for those who are listening for the first time viewers and just well, who is this gentleman? So can you give us a short synopsis? Who is Curtis Crooke?
Yeah, well, I'm Curtis Crooke, a humble youngster from St. Kitts. I live in the village all my life. I grew up in Lagwit, a place called Lagwit in the village. Hard-working guy. I worked TDC for 25 years, and I work in rural logistics. As I say, I love people. I love to be around the elders. That's my hobby. I love to be around kids. A humble, normal, simple guy. But I'm very passionate about my country. That's the long and short of Curtis Cook. I'm very passionate about St. Kitts and Nevis. This is my
What
home. This is what I'm all about. Whatever I can do to help people, that's my goal.
I know earlier you mentioned, Alan Francis, who was a young cricketer, and one thing I realized, even you're around cricket, you have a love for cricket, you travel where cricket is keeping, and also you have your son also involved in cricket. And I think when you mentioned he had made with the Leeward, under something Leeward Island team, something like that. Correct me if
Leeward
I'm
under
wrong.
19. Yeah, he made the Leeward.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, he made the Leeward under 19 team last year. Did very well in the
yes.
tournament. Came out won the tournament as one of the leading bowlers in the region. He did very well. He played last year. He went on Tiga last year with the St. Kitts team. I played to play in a T20 tournament. That didn't go too well. He didn't get any game. But I keep telling him to fight. Last year, he was one of the leading bowler in the Cool and Smooth, the big tournament that happened in St. Kitts, the T20 tournament. So he been around doing his thing. I keep supporting him. Me also play a little cricket. Not a little, I play cricket myself. Never played national. But when you get older, it seems like you're getting the reward because I'm supposed to be going to Jamaica on the 15th of October to play in a tournament in
Okay.
Jamaica. 16 from Jamaica. So looking forward to that. But my passion really too, I love cricket. I've been all over the world. I've been to a lot of places. I've been to almost all the stadiums in England looking at cricket. I've been to now. As a matter of fact, I just find the picture today on my phone, when I said to you, Black
Yes,
Man and
yes,
Darren
yes. That's
Duff
my cousin
ahead
right
of
there.
me.
Yes,
And then we right.
yes.
Exactly. Me is the one who took that picture. You understand? So I
Okay.
feel so good to see that picture come back up. So yeah.
Yes, and my cousin Blackman here have involved himself in cricket over the years. All his life involved in cricket and the Navy's team where he traveled. I remember when he went to Tatola back in the days where he make seven for 27 runs. He had that on his Suzuki Jeep for years. So that was a great accomplishment for him.
Yeah.
And so
And
Blackman is deep in this. You're part
while
of.
I hear, we like I was saying, if you have, I don't know who your kids is, but I would really like to
Yes,
hand over them pictures to them because I think
of
it's
course.
a nice picture. You're sitting in the stadium
Yes.
and heading and the one with you and
Beautiful picture.
Darren Duff. I would like to give his kids them pictures.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it.
I would like
Well,
somebody
that's
I would
easy.
like to hand it over. It'd be nice. I love the
But
picture.
once that could be arranged. That could be arranged. Because I say he's my family, very 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 close family. So that can be arranged. His children, mom, and stuff like that. And it's my family same. So it's not an issue. That's minor matters. So Curtis, I know, as I said, I mentioned earlier, you're a community person. As you seem to really be involved a lot within the community when it comes to the youths and them and keep them on a straight and narrow road and stuff like that. So what have really get you so close and involved in cricket as a community person? Where did that came from?
I didn't get you. Kind of drop out a little bit there. What you said? What was the question?
I was asking you, I seen you as a community person involved in the community, especially with the youth and cricket and other sports. So where did that love for community effort and that love for cricket really came from? And to see this is spilled off into your children the same way. He's a very good cricketer.
Where did my love?
The love, yes, for community, you know what I mean, commitment and sports came from.
You asking where you're kind of dropping. You asking where my love for cricket and the community came from?
Yes.
Well,
yes, exactly.
It comes from within me, really. If I could understand it, it comes from within me. I just love. I just say to you, I grew up in playing cricket from small in the community, and as I say, I live in the community. So it's just me, just the person I am. It just come from within my heart. You know, it's not. And again, I was raised by a lady named Edna. She also teach me, you know, be good to people, show love to people. You know, so all of this, and I say, cricket is one of the sports I love. I love cricket. And I always say, if I could give back, I could help people. I will do what I can to help people, especially in the community and where they feel. You know, but it's just something that I love doing. You know, I love being around people. I remember years ago when I used to go to the school to help them with the cricket at afternoons. So I love, it's just something within me. It comes from within my heart, something I love to do. You know? They're kind of jumping out a little bit. I really can't, somebody may understand what you're saying.
Sorry about that. The technician will fix that. You can hear me better? Yahsonn?
Yeah, but I'm not hearing you dropping out at all, so I don't know exactly if it is something on Curtis's
side. No, it's good now.
Okay.
No, it was like a jumping, like a bubbling, mumbling.
Okay, so Curtis, I wanted to ask you something because Bankie spoke on the love for cricket and community, but I knew Curtis, a different side of Curtis, because when I met Curtis, I didn't know about the cricket side. I met you years ago when I used to work Four Seasons, and we used to do that Friars Beach thing from Four Seasons coming over with Bess and them, and you used to work on the catamaran, right? And you come over and bring over the tents and the drinks and so on from TDC and so on. So, what is it that got Curtis to be so involved in politics? That is the area that I because I found that, you know, I don't know what and when exactly you really became such a vocal activist on that side, but what is it that, you know, got you so involved in politics?
Well, I grew up really and truly. I just say you don't know that section. I grew up in a political home. I was raised by a lady named Edna. So when I was young, Mom would take me to all the labor meetings. And I see growing up, I see a little bit of Gotcha. I see some of France. I see some of Southwell. And I see the Wrangle. I see the whole back and forth, the Gotcha, the this and the that. So I was always around the politics. So as I said, growing up, I see from 1980 when Pam getting power, I see some of Gotcha, as I say, and you know, I always believe, I said, boy, I like the ladies, and I always believe in fairness. That's one thing I would tell people. I believe in fairness. I believe in equal rights. And a lot of people, I like one person, let me say this, I'm always the only child. I'm my only child. So I always just try to fend for myself. My grandmother used to always tell me, do not trouble nobody's thing. But when people do anything, defend yourself. And growing up all the time, it seemed like I used to always have to be the mouthpiece, going to school, and the defender. And I see it coming in the same way with the politics. People are afraid to speak because there's always a backlash. And if you support a party and you say anything, I just said earlier, it's either you're supporting the party because you're calling out the party wrong. And I always had a problem with that. I always grew up with that in my head. I don't care what party I'm supporting. If something I don't like, I'm going to speak on it. And it go into me. As I go older, I see the politics. As I remember some in the community, years have been making us about what was going on in the community. I guess I was the black sheep at the time, all the time, as usual. And that's just me. I support a party, but I believe in the party doing things that I don't feel like. I think it has the right, respectfully, to speak out. And there's one person I always think if I don't like, people to muzzle me. I
Okay,
don't like people.
Curtis, I know.
Don't like people to muzzle me.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No,
I
I
was
was
saying.
saying over the
So I
year.
always go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead,
saying I grew
Curtis.
up into that, and I don't like people to muzzle me. I don't like people to make me feel, especially when I'm not saying something what I know is right, and make me feel is wrong. So
Okay.
that's where I grew up. That's the way I always carry myself in that kind of way. I want to say something wrong, I'm gonna speak on it. It don't have to be politics. Even when I used to work TDC, I was very aggressive in the meeting if I see something I don't like. So it's not just the politics side of it. I remember going to TDC meeting, a lot of people straight to talk, and Jordan used to get up. So for me, it's not all about politics. Some people just see the politics. I remember during the COVID, the vaccine story, I the only person get up in the meeting and ask questions. So it's not just about politics. I'm always an outspoken person. But people only see the political side. There's so much
Okay.
other side. Yeah.
So, Curtis, I know right now we're at 42 years of independence. From a youth coming up, so you're transitioning into independence and to this point here. Can you give a brief synopsis of what you see with all the political party, in the sense, the history of labor when it leading up to Bradshaw up to present time now? How do you view that
King,
leading up to
we
independence?
keep using
Yes,
these words. We're using the words in leading up to the independence. Again,
yes, yes.
the lies, we keep fighting against one another.
Let me say this, because for me, I'm a young youth. I mean, I'm just 48 years old, so I don't know Bradshaw. I born in 77. You see what I mean? So when Bradshaw died,
Okay.
I mean, I'm probably around
Right.
2 years old.
No.
So I don't know the gentleman, just reading up on the history of him in
But
a sense like that.
I born 1969. So I say a
Okay.
bit about it. I could remember
Yes.
when Bradshaw passed away and all the small pain was coming in. I live in the village. But what I'm saying at the end of the day, the point I'm saying, yeah, along the line all the time. We as a people, what I got problem with other things with us, we must speak the truth. We're clouding ourselves, both parties being taken aside. Let me go again. Raise my hand. I am not taking no side here. I'm saying both parties were clouding ourselves and our young people. Everybody played a role. But to start out with the role, what he used to do, how we feel about certain things, the independent story, and them, right? Okay, but to move on. We went up into Palm getting 1980. They decided to set up the independence. But yet we still ended up on the back foot. Well, Gotcha did nothing. This ain't did that. I'm getting up and we went into independence. Independence again. Independence meaning that we're supposed to be independent. So me tell me, I wonder, are we fully independent? Depends on who party in. Can we see it with Labour, we see it with PAM, we see it with Unity. Depends on who party in, we feel comfortable pressing people. These are the part, this is the part. Couple independence probably being on, you know. Couple independence celebrate this country, make it up. You know why? Because again, remember the year when I lose me, are we really independent? We steer gas. Are we really
Um,
independent?
may I ask a
Um,
question, sir?
yeah, go ahead, sir.
Um, I, I feel like you're building up to say something more expansive, but I want to follow you all the way. 'Cause just now you say a lot of different things. So your
Yeah, well,
suggestion, hold on, me not even say what me say. No?
man, finish. No, man, I didn't speak. I'm listening.
If you just not, if you're suggesting we are not independent, you could be a little more clear as to what you mean with regards to our lack of independence.
People still fearful to speak. People, we are still not behaving like independence for me. Where, as I said to you, people are fearful to speak. We use the word democracy. We use the word transparency. When we use the Constitution. So what is full independent? Are you not, as I'm saying, if we independent, we supposed to sit here tonight? I supposed to sit here tonight and feel free to speak about if I feel something about Dr. Joe. You're supposed to sit tonight, free to speak, or you feel about Mark Bentley. We supposed to sit here tonight and feel free to speak, or we feel about Tim. So what is independent?
So you're
Are we fully
speaking
independent?
about you're not. So I just want to be clear, because as I say, you're saying a lot of different words. Independence is one of them, but you're not speaking about independence as a nation. You're speaking about independence from a individual perspective. Am I incorrect?
The part was a nation. Okay, well, yes. So let me get back to the part. Okay, as a nation too.
Sir, I want you to understand.
Mm-hmm.
When we speak, just now when Bankie say independence and 42, he got people in St. Kitts and Nevis who 100. So the independence Bankie was referring to was not an individual level of independence. So I just need you to understand how me get confused with regards to the fact that he was asking you as a nation, and you take it into personal, individual circumstances.
Well, I was getting into the whole. I was getting to the whole. Okay, as a nation, as an independent country, we come a very long way. Yeah, go ahead.
You realize how that now you're walking back where you was just saying? Because just now when you were talking, you were saying, well, you don't know if we're independent as a nation. And I want you to realize that you're conflating different terms. The fact that people don't want to speak out, that's not independence, you know. That's victimization and the fear of reprisal from a political perspective. That got nothing to do with independence. And even so, that is a individual circumstance rather than the global. Now we could talk about politics and, as I said, victimization and the fear of political reprisal. But I just want you to realize how that is a different conversation than if we're talking about independence. You see what I'm saying, right? You following me?
I got you. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, Curtis, what we're dealing with here, I just wanted to give an overview of, as a youth, as you sitting, moving on, as I said, 42 years of independence, your view somewhere where we at in this point and how you see things, and how you see different government change and stuff like that. So I just want to give you an overview in a sense. And at the same time, you can give a history leading up to Bradshaw, because I don't know the man Bradshaw, apart from reading about him, and at the same time playing a part of him in the last independence, we going to high school. I played a part of Vacho where I was told to as well give me board in the rice and give me board in the rice and pepper in the soup. That was my line. But at the same time, so that alone had an impact on me. He had me to study. Because he said, "Oh, you look like a Vacha. You slim like him and tall like him and whatever and whatever." And I said, "Okay." So this was my role, but then over the years, it got me wondering, well, where this thing you come from? So he just put me as somebody, as a youth, who I was inquisitive and wanted to research and get me start listening more and more and read upon him and realize he's the one who really start putting things in place in garnishing the estates and the land and different stuff. So let me hear from your perspective.
Well, I was saying on Bradshaw came about with his ideas. He had some serious ideas. Some people didn't like the ideas. As you know, as you say, I don't know where that pepper and the super bone come from within the rice. I can't, be honest, I don't know about that. I hear it all the time. I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence on that. So I don't know about that. But yeah, the Bradshaw, because I say about 69, so I get to see a little bit of him being around. He seemed like, based on what I see throughout, he seemed like he was a no-nonsense man. No-nonsense man. I know they say he had issues with the Rasta movements, with the laps and the them kind of things. He was also seemed like he was very disciplinary man. He was a no-nonsense man, and he seemed like he had some plans where he wanted us to go to independence. And whatever issue with Anguilla, Nevis, here you had the opposition, Palm and these people with the wrangling about independence or whatever to do with Bradshaw. And some point he make it stand up. There was a lot of backlash, a lot of back and forth. He come up with different plans, different way for the ordinary people. The cane cutters, the school situation, open up things for us ordinary people to go to school and things like these, for the ordinary people. He was very forceful. Very forceful. And when you have them kind of people, you're gonna always have the backlash. There was issues, I guess, with he and Nevis, when they keep saying about with Nevis and Sinkits and Nevis, this wrangling with Bonnie and Soup and with landing Nevis, the landing Sinkits, and with Anguilla to deal with, and it was one of those. He was one of those kind of person, I said no nonsense. But at the end of the day, for the short time, he stand up for the ordinary people. He fought for us to get where we be today. And
I want you to list some of the things that inspire you, that you see, that is put into effect, that Bradshaw have put in place. Just list a few.
you have the airport, social security. You open the school system. That's enough for you.
What about
He
the
built
land when he didn't start the process?
hospital.
Did he start the process when it comes to moving towards independence, and the land and estate land and so forth?
Yes, because remember he went to England when they had the confusion in England with the independence, and with the concerning the cane, the people with the cane cutting, and all these things.
What was that about with the cane? What was that about? With the cane you're speaking of?
Well, apparently they had issues with cutting the cane. And I said he was always wrangling with the opposition. They had issues with the cane. I remember, I think, Junior played this speech when he said, there's everybody coming up with ideas But when you ask them to put it together, they can't put it together. You know? These kind of things where the issues with touching of the cane, and then you had these people who was against it, and you know.
Yahsonn, Alan, your Yahsonn, any question for Curtis?
Yahsonn, you want to get in? Yahsonn, you want to get in?
No, go ahead, Alan.
For some reason,
Okay, well, yeah.
No, I was saying, so for some, you can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Curtis. Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
Hello.
You were
Go ahead.
listening? Yes.
Yeah. So these are some of the stuff I know. I could talk offhand. As to the airport,
Yes.
you get backlash with the airport. Yeah, the same thing with independence. When you speak and go going into independent, the opposition, we had backlash with that. You had issues with.
I want to ask you a question. You speak of this backlash, right? And you start off and you said you want us to get to the truth. But I glad a Gaskell I listen tonight, by the way. Good evening to the Gaskell family. So some of this backlash that Bradshaw got, did he earn any of the backlash? Are you insinuating
No, when I say
that the
backlash from the.
Go ahead.
No, when I say the backlash, meaning it's always from the opposition. It's like when you build the airport, when he going with a long one away. When you speak about independence, we can't go into independence. But in 1980, everybody went to independence. That's what I'm talking about. It was always a pushback. When you try to do certain things, it was always a pushback. That's what I mean. Backlash. When the airport built.
Listen, hold on. I want you to understand the question what me ask you, because you're answering a different question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm not concerned where the backlash came. Hold on. Me not ask you. I'm not concerned where the backlash came from. I'm asking you, if I do something wrong and I get some word, then what I'm telling you is the backlash is fair. What I'm asking you is, when Bradshaw get his backlash, are you telling me all of it was unfair? He no work on no. That's what me ask you. Remember, we're trying to get to the truth.
Hold on. I like the question you're asking. When he came up with independence, was it wrong? Answer that question.
It was not wrong.
Okay. When he built the airport, was it wrong?
No.
Okay. When he was dealing with the land story, was it wrong?
I'm not because I'm not
when he came up with
fully aware. Sir, lad, you see how when me attacking, allow me to talk. You can't ask me the question.
No, listening. No, listening.
I want you to know I don't get run over. So take your time.
No, I'm listening. Me say nothing else.
Okay.
I listen. The time will let me finish.
I'm telling you, I'm not familiar with everything with the land story. So I'm not gonna say yes or no. I don't have enough information, so I'm not gonna say nothing about the land thing. Cause you literally, how you describing it is you saying the land story. No, so me work. So when you give me a more full something, then I could say yes.
That's your homework.
Nope. Because me and you spoke a couple weeks ago, and you were supposed to send me some information. You know, send me it. So
that's your homework.
No, you're not gonna homework. Go ahead. You have more questions? You were in the middle of asking me questions.
Yeah. No, I was asking. We speak about the airport, right? I was asking that was wrong. When when he opened up the school system, the backlash, when the ordinary people could go to school, when you open up social security, and they came up with when they came up with the social security plan,
Um,
the issues
all of them there.
are stuck by
Social
so they say
security.
something.
I want you to understand. Coming up with social security, me not really feel like he come up with social security. Social security as a concept, sir. Could you hold on? If you hold on, you're gonna see where me are going. Social security as a concept had been in place after 1945, and the world started to globalize. We start to get world institutions. The America start to pass out everything what they do. They say, you do it too. One of them is social security. So that's how come I'm saying it's not like Bradshaw came up with this idea. Oh my God, what about this? No, that they went. It's more like he looked at it and he implemented. When these men come with this SSZ zone thing now, right now, you feel like I'm gonna say that they make up this? No. Them watch other places and them implement a scheme. That's all what I say. Me not say he not implement the scheme or no. I'm just telling you, you don't make it seem like he was a genius for that. And I also got another thing. Cause this is where you get confused with the Bradshaw and the independence. Do you know that when Sim Daniel and other Nivisions were trying to go to England to attend the independence meeting, that Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw said, no, me not pay for you? You could reach England and say what you have to say, but you going to have to pay for it yourself. Was that right? See me going to ask you, was that right?
If that was it,
and notice
if that was not right, I don't know if it happened.
Alan, Curtis,
that
wait,
is what
give me a
happened,
chance there.
That is what happened,
give me a
Curtis.
chance. Curtis still ain't get a chance and lead him back up when it comes to Bradshaw and independence, and we're going back and forth in different places. I just want clarity. I'm here to learn, and Curtis, I'm here to. We all are here to learn, especially me. So I want clarity, and I want Curtis to express
all
himself.
of us, because everybody,
Yes,
everybody
yes,
don't know it all. All of us.
Of course.
We can't. We don't know it all. We don't know it all. And that's the whole idea why we have these kind of shows. Everybody could, I could say something, and if you correct, we correct. So that's the whole idea.
Yes.
So I don't think I know it all because I don't know it all. Understand? We just going off of we own heads. We don't have nothing right now. Everybody are doing the same thing. But as he said a while ago, though, yeah, guys, Alan.
But I was reading and I shared the same information with you maybe about a month ago to let you know is Nevis people pay for Nevis people to go to attend those constitutional meetings. You know when and under which government Nevis people ain't had to pay no more? When Pam get in. It is very important to understand these things when we want to get to the truth. St. Kitts and Nevis had one of the most extended negotiations over the Constitution, because Bradshaw saying, let's do it like this. And Nevis say, but you're not going to listen to us. And then Bradshaw end up and say, well, if I want to come, I pay for yourself. And this is why I ask you if any of the backlash was earned. And the reason why I say I glad that Gaskell is listening to the show, we got to remember 1967, when Bradshaw suspend certain things in the Constitution and lock up people for more than a month. We can't pretend that Anguilla end up by themselves as a
what date in
mistake.
1967? What date in 1967 that happened?
Whatever date in 1967, I know that the leader was Llewellyn
We are
Batchel.
going all over the place, right? We there for 1 point. We got here, we got here. We are going all over the place. But one simple
Now, me,
question.
Alan,
We're not in a different situation. Just asking a simple question. Can we still going to continue the conversation in the car, as I say? So we'll come back and we want to all these things I talk about. Can we just scratch the surface? So we get into everything we need to talk about, Curtis. So in the rush, we got a long evening. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to mix up the listening audience or viewing audience. They're listening and they're listening to the conversation and stuff like that. So moving up to we don't reach independence, transitioning, we don't be into the PAM, we've been through Labour. So how does each government, viewing in your eyes, and that PAM government leading back to Labour and leading up to a president, a unity government and to a Labour again? How do you use those stuff? Because I know you've been through a lot of situation at the airport and ID. So leading up on as a youth, I was on primary school, I was under a PAM government, and then into high school, I was into a Labour government, and then as an adult now transitioning to different stuff into unity and seeing all these things that I would never seen happen. Your views on all this transitioning and the development of thinking at the same time when it comes to the road to nowhere with the Kennedy Simmons Highway, which you understand, can remember going to school when that was doing done. Now everything has opened up and all the views and stuff, because that was said, but at the same time you see the transformation of what happened now. Because when that was doing, and I mean, it was a task that have never been done in a sense in those times. So leading up to the present time now. So just those kind of stuff.
Okay, since you said the word to nowhere.
Well, you ain't got to start from there. You got to start from, yes, go ahead.
Okay, well, okay. We went in independence in 1983. For me, the word, let's kind of touch a little bit on this word story. I personally didn't have a problem with the word. The issues I had concerning the word. What was the rush? We know that all of them lands over there was not owned by government. When you put in a word, when you put in the word, what become of the land? The prices go up, right?
The value goes up, the value goes up,
Yeah. When you put in the infrastructure, it become of the value.
Yes.
It goes up, right? That is my suspicion about the word. The word went in, and we had absolutely nothing over there to benefit us. But the people who own the land benefit tremendously. Also we, the people.
But does it fair to say that but those don't land payers that pay taxes on their land yearly and all these different stuff, and then at the same time I'm just saying, because what you're saying here.
No, we agree. Hear me now. No, hear what I'm saying.
Yes,
hear what I'm saying.
Yes.
Hear what I'm saying. At the same time, Bastille infrastructure, you need urbanizing.
Okay.
So at the time today, we could have got all that infrastructure, our electricity could have been underground. But at the same time, you put the word, I said to you again, 90% of the land over there, they owned by private people. I don't know what out over there, why the road went in, but as soon as the road went, all the infrastructure was in. So they get water, they get lights. That is why you find today we got issue about over there with land. They're saying that is nothing wrong. But if you put in the road, why it takes so much years for the people and the country to benefit? We were supposed to have a hotel over there in Casablanca. Then I went to Anguilla. So if you put it in the road, there must be something happening in the next 2 years that the citizens will benefit. Am I making sense?
I understand where you're coming from.
The people benefit from the people benefit from the road.
Yes.
The people benefit from the road. It's the people
Yes.
who got all the lands over there. So from the time the road and the infrastructure going, the land price gone up. So we got issue right now with something about the land over there with Fires Bay, and people got to move and all these things. So over there was already organized. But I'm saying, we as the citizen, it shouldn't take us 5 years, how long we ever get in power, for us to start to benefit. You put in the word within the next 2 years, we should have got something happening over there. Where work one, let's say, after that gone now, this will happen. So then at least the people, as you're saying too, would have been benefiting. So it went on for years, the land price gone up, but the infrastructure going, and the cost of us, the citizen, because when me and you want a lamp post and we want certain things, it's held double. Right now there's an issue over there with lights. A guy got a bar trying to get lights, and there's all kind of red tape to get the current over there. When they post it over there, the lights are over there. I mean, everything over that side already. So I'm saying that it was not so much a bad idea. But at the end of the day, we the people should have benefit. Not one time everything take a process. But we should not 5 years also our labor to get in power for something happening over there.
Okay. Apart from that project, what other project that you see that was done under the People's Action Movement, and I think would be the NRP at the same time coalition? What other projects that you see that have benefited under their rule, their 15 years reign at the same time?
Right. They came up again, politicians, when we don't listen. When they build the deep water port, the cruise pier, that was another good idea.
Yes. Okay.
But again, people tell them, guys, the pier turn wrong, or putting the infrastructure wrong. What happened to the pier and the infrastructure? What millions it cost us? So all I'm saying is, as you just remember, Alan said a while ago.
Where you mean the pier turn wrong? And who was advising them? Who was giving advice?
Before people telling them, Kenneth and other people was warning them that instead of making the pier cross, then the pier go straight out. The way the pier originally be now. That wasn't the original pier.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
So they put it across. So I think maybe a couple years after the water come and mash up the whole thing. As a matter of fact, we nearly lose the whole of Port Zante some years ago with the hurricane.
Okay.
If you remember that. I think the pier had to be over once or twice. So I'm saying the idea is good, but you still got to listen. So when people are saying that over there, listen up, I'm saying the facts happen. The pier built wrong. The pier was supposed to go straight out. That was a good idea.
Okay.
But it's just that they didn't listen. Right. The deep water port, what we have now, that they built that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? The deep water port. Okay. After that, they build couple school. They build a main road. They do the main road. Sorry to say it. From Boston to Sunny Point. From Boston to Kayan.
But when you say couple school, what do you mean by that? Couple? What is couple school? What do you mean by that? Couple school. What's that? Okay, if a man build one school, that's a big thing. It's education. So when you say couple school, what is that?
Sorry. I'm saying, I think the couple primary school, early school, there was the non-labor. I got to remember.
You can't just say school. You can't just say schools. You can't say schools.
But I can't remember but I can't remember if Labour put in all the schools them. I can't remember that. I can't remember that. But I'm just saying, they build project houses, but they build houses from Boston or certain area, from not in St. Paul's. They do the main road from Boston to Sunny Point, from Boston to St. Paul's. So the rest of the country was left abandoned.
So transitioning into a 95 Labour government, how that have changed leading up again for the 20 years? How do you see the difference change within that time?
So there was a rampage with housing. The housing revolution, I think it was wild. We end up in we bring up hotels. and South Africa at the Marriott, okay? At the Marriott Hotel. You had before that you had Jakarta.
So Jakarta
You had
came under who? Jakarta
you
came
had
under who?
this
So Jakarta came under who?
in Jakarta. No, Jakarta was back way back when. In Jakarta come back in March on the Siemens on the labor. Jakarta came here. I can't fully, but years ago. Remember, I can't fully off and remember if it was on the Siemens. I think
Okay.
I want to believe
Oh,
it's
and
on
the
the
thing is,
Siemens that Jakarta came.
of
May
course.
to show. I
They've
can't
been there since
remember offhand.
Jakarta been there since
It
always
been there
been
a while.
in
Been there a lot of
the
years,
early yes.
Right. So I
Of
can't,
course. Yes.
yeah, I can't fully remember.
Okay.
I can't fully
And
remember.
the OTI, the Fisherman's Wharf, that was the and the Fisherman OTI, that was under what? Under who?
But fishermen have been there over 100 years. Since Labour time.
The OTI. Okay.
The OTI, all the motors have been there donkey years. Yeah, OTI, you had a little bit of the one, so the abandoned now, Fort Thomas, that they done years ago.
Yes.
Then you had OTI, they call the one Timothy Beach.
Okay.
Timothy Beach, they've been there for years.
Go ahead. So I was just asking you, transitioning into the Labour government in the early 90s, how do you see the development of St. Kitts and comparing to what you just mentioned and living on the palm?
In
I know you had 15 years and 20 years.
Right. You had for the 15 years. Let's go back to the Jakarta. No, to refresh. Because remember Jakarta been there for years. I remember when I used to work on the beach at the time, you had the Jakarta. Now you say about transition with the hotel. Then I remember the biggest airline used to come here then was American Eagle. That was our big flight. We used to get some charters called Miami here. And then we moved from Miami here, I think we went into some plane out of England. We used to get some flight out of England. He had one name, I think was Continental, JMC. And then we start to pick up. And then later down, we start to get, then we end up get American in the late. Then we end up get US Airways. So the air coming in within them period of them times. Remember at the time we didn't really have much hotel needed to. So it wasn't Four Seasons was the one who really was bringing a lot of the airlift to St. Kitts. Because then you had the Four Seasons. So most of the planes them used to come for Four Seasons. So that was one of the biggest. Because of the Four Seasons, a lot of the airlines start coming because of first the private jets and all these things start coming. And then I remember having the hotels here too. The OTLs, as I say, the Bird Up Beach hotels and them there. Then in the late we end up getting the Marriott that even now help the lift more. And you had Air Canada again because of the Four Seasons. After this, as I said, most of the people that used to go to Nevis, the Four Seasons. Then you had no one again we used to get some charges at the Miami here. So that was some of the for me, some of the stuff where you could say you really start to as I say, we still ain't living out Pam to Pam. Because remember they also had some part in the Jakarta Hotel. But you said the Jakarta Hotel was always there. The other hotel we had, I think was the Sun and Sun. If you remember the hotels over for you. Sun and Sun, Leeward Cove. Right? And then after Labour, then getting power. You start, the housing revolution. Things we end up in this one, this SIDF money story, the passport selling.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, but the SIDF that was started and founded under the People's Action Movement, and then right. So the money was there
Yeah,
sitting down, and
you know,
then
the household
because
trinkets.
no,
And
you
don't know if I
mentioned
could
the
say,
SIDF.
I don't know if I could say, don't know if I could say it started under one person.
What the SIDF? No,
Passport
what I'm
selling
asking was
started under
we was the first. Well, the history is that we was the first to started that within one of the first, more or less, right? So because I only know, and most of the people only knew about even this thing until when this that went after the closure of the sugar industry. Because I mean, the majority of the people didn't even know there was something named, there was a fund. You see what I mean? So this is where everything came out. But continue. I just wanted to give a little synopsis when you mentioned the SIDF and stuff like that. So continue saying what you've started. At least we got to
right.
put that into context.
Yeah, I'm saying that fund started,
Uh-huh.
and that now create, I guess, was creating what they used to use to help to build the Warner Park Stadium and all these other stuff was going on then.
So how do you
from what I
feel
see
about
the SIDF start under Labour.
is that? So explain, Alan, compared to what Curtis was saying. Can you say it started under Labor?
No,
Of
baby,
course, it's
because
talk
that's what
about
I'm saying.
The, the,
One
yes.
the,
person used to sell the passport.
well,
Yeah, I think what the problem is here, Alan. I think
mhm.
the little confusion here is between the SIDF as it is and the Citizenship by Investment Program. So the Citizenship by Investment Program in itself that started way back under, I think, Pam with Billy Herbert and them after independence around that time.
Yeah,
And
that's
since
right.
then, it's been going on. The SIDF now was a product developed by the Douglas Labour Party regime and was continued and then was then shifted into, so to speak, what we call the CBI program that we do have now. At least that aspect of the SIDF was shifted over into incorporated into what is now the CBI. So I think that is the little mix up there, Bankie. So the SIDF is I think is a product that was developed, but it was
But the
developed by
CBI, the CBI started under PAM.
the Citizenship by Investment
So,
Program where the passport selling and so on started under
yes,
the People's Action
yes,
Movement. Yes.
of course, yes. Just clarity. The two different terminology you're saying
Yeah,
to
but
pass in a
wait.
sense.
I wouldn't want to say we
Go ahead,
fully,
Curtis.
but I wouldn't want to say we fully
Yes,
start under PAM. One man use
yes.
passport.
What do you mean by that? Explain.
One man used to sell.
Keep.
One man used to sell the passport.
What do you mean one
And
man? One
Bankie,
one. No. You're
one
speaking about this. Yes.
individual, one
One law firm, you
individual
mean?
used to sell the passport. One law firm, what we
Uh-huh.
want to call them.
Yes.
That's how Dougie ended up getting involved and take it over, put it into like the country should benefit.
Wait, I got you. Yes, sir. You understand what you're saying, Alan?
Yeah,
To an extent, but what me and Yahsonn say is that SIDF and CBI are two different circumstances.
yes.
Yes. Curtis understand that.
I
Do you
understand that.
right?
I'm just saying, one
well,
man was selling the passport.
who was the one man?
A law firm,
Okay,
Like moment.
the owner of the law firm.
so you're suggesting to me that in St. Christopher and Nevis in the 1980s and in the first part of the 90s that you could procure a passport by going to this particular law firm in St. Kitts and
Yeah, one
Nevis?
man. You think it?
Okay, good.
You know, Alan. Now, as I listen to the discussion, though, right? something jumped out at me in something that Curtis said earlier, right? I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to take a minute to go through some of the comments that's been coming through because the spaces have been very active, and I think we have sort of ignored a lot of the comments this evening. But I'm going to check it out.
Also, yes, and share the numbers
One of
also
the
and bring in yes.
1 second, the back break.
yes,
Yes.
one of the things that, well, I think I'll go to the comments because I wanna wait until he comes back to
When
really
Curtis come up
address
No,
with
go
it.
the
ahead,
comment,
I'm listening, I'm listening. No, go ahead, I'm
Yeah.
listening, go ahead.
So,
Yeah, I'm listening.
after the bit,
so the questions or the comments on the Facebook, sorry, on the YouTube. You got Booba Love said blessed night to the entire panel. Justin Huggins said blessed night. Bobby Jones says, as Alan asked the question, seems like Curtis is alluding to the fact that freedom of speech and expression might be under attack. I don't think he answered along the line of the question. Bobby Jones, correct, Alan. So I guess that was back when they were having that discussion. Aaron Gardner says, good brethren, Curtis, you should prepare. Alan, glad you take Curtis back to school. He just saying what comes to his mouth. Mighty Servant says, Independence 42, we are more committed today than we were yesterday to pledge allegiance to the British monarchy. Burlby Jones says, what about the lands? Mighty Servant, Alan is asking Curtis to give an account of what independence means as a nation. But in so, he is taking away Curtis's right to give an account of what independence means to him as a citizen. Bobby Jones, some of the
Hold on. Who you say that comment there?
Mighty Servant.
Sir, Mr. Servant, I was making a distinction. I feel like everybody here understood what I was saying. Bankie asked the man a clear question about nation. He's a 42 years old. So what that had to do with me mother who in the 70s and she independence. So I was simply showing Curtis, yes, there is individual independence, and if he wanted to speak about that, he was free to do so. But you ain't gonna get a question about a nation independence and then start to mixing people one and then feel like it's the same conversation, sir. That I always been maybe not try to do. So I hope that this second time that you got some clarity from what I was saying. And I ain't tell nobody what to say. You feel free to say what you would like to say. Give me the word. But make it make sense. Go ahead, Yahsonn.
Okay. Bobby Jones says some of the backlash is a conflict of who want to get the credit to do certain things. Maybe just ask Curtis if he like that Bratcher got opposition on these issues. Aaron Gardner says, Curtis, the people's action do more for Sinkits and Nevis than Bratcher. You're talking too much mix-up. Bobby Jones says, guess Alan is asking, did he own or deserve any of these critiques? And I guess this was in relation to when he was talking about Bratcher and he was asking the question about, when he said Bratcher got a lot of backlash. And he was asking me if you think that Bratcher earned those backlash because of the things that he would have done and so on, and how it may have impacted and affected the various people who were probably given the backlash and so on. Natural Mystic Alan doing his research. Bobby Jones said, we found out recently that Bratcher put a proposal to the monarchy about independence and it was rejected. So where does that leave him in the debate that he is the father of independence? Bobby Jones again said the people who had lands on the peninsula, of course, they benefited from that road. It was up to them to develop their lands. Bobby Jones saying the reverse has happened on the southeast side of Nevis. No road was put in, thus the landowners pay taxes for years and did not get the same chance like landowners on the peninsula with that road there. I want to pause there a little bit with the comments because that is the question, or that was the area that I was alluding to before Curtis took the break. Because I was saying that when Curtis was making that, I was giving that explanation in relation to the Peninsula Road and the benefits to those owners of the lands at that point. The same argument should be and can be presented in the Nevis end. And the thing is, the land is owned by Nevisian land owners. So if infrastructure is put in place, and as Curtis Crooke was alluding, well, as a result of that, the landowners over on that side benefited because of the infrastructure, the fact that roads were put in, electricity and water. Well, it would mean then that that would be the net effect of the present landowners of that southeast area that is supposed to be developed. So by the government saying that they are not going to bother to develop that, based on the comment that the person is making here, as he says that landowners would have been paying taxes for years and did not, and is not going to get that chance like the landowners and the Southeast Peninsula. Anybody care to comment on that before I continue the other comments?
Bankie, you mute.
Bankie, you muted.
Sorry about that. I just wanted Curtis to continue to give an overview team unity government also, and then an overview of what's going on now within the country, which will lead up to the SSZ and other stuff in a sense. So he was touching about we're under Douglas, so now he can jump into team unity in a sense like that. He was giving an overview, and I know it's a lot to talk about, but just want to give a chance leading up to all these different government which he sit under and observe what's going on and stuff like that. So the team unity, you get a chance to see a different change where three government come together, which never ever happened in a sense like that. So how was that? What was the benefit do you see happen under that when it comes to bringing the country together and development and all these different stuff? What's your views about that?
I want to take a pause on when you say bringing the country together. Team unity bring us together.
Yes. Okay.
Team unity divide this country more than ever in history.
Okay.
Big time.
Oh, wait. You go say how. You go say how. Go ahead. You go say how. You can't just make the sweeping statement there and not tell her how. Tell her how.
Well, how?
Yeah.
The end result show you how. You start wrong and you end wrong. We end up, even this community here was we had the PAM people in this community, the Labour people. When this unity thing come about, it divided everybody. You start wrong and the end result show you exactly what I'm talking about.
So hold on. So when they get in power, all the Labour people have to move out?
No, if they had to move out, you remember what happened when unity get in power? Hold on. Listen, let me remind you. Let me remind you. When unity get in power, people who is civilians in government headquarters, searching out the workers in government headquarters bag. When unity first thing they get in power, first day, people who get quartered up, while civilians in the desk, in the bag, searching out the things them. They say them say. You start right there. That in itself tell you what I'm talking about. That's the facts. Continue. Can I learn something?
You mute Bankie. You mute Bankie.
Infrastructure, development, infrastructure, development, all this different stuff. What you see happen, and then into this government administration right now.
Community development and infrastructure.
Yeah,
that's what you're asking me about.
Yes, just do you see happen on the Bradshaw and the Douglas and the Palmer and the Douglas under this government? Because there was what 7 years. So what do you see? What was put in place?
I see 7 years of destruction.
I laugh, Coach.
7 solid years of destruction. Look past all of that. Look at what they do to the airport. Let us be real. Point to me something with TV unity I can clap my hand for. Except mess about the country money. Look across all of that, Virgin. One of the most beautiful places in St. Kitts. You put up a bunch of big stone. We had unusual.
No, just saying the thing that can have to be fixed. We fix. I mean, I can agree with that. That
can't be fixed.
What do you mean?
That can't be fixed. That don't spoil. How you going to fix? You can get a big stone move. When that was basic.
So put them there. What do you mean they can't move, Curtis?
Yeah,
but continue. Where you
going to find the money? Okay, right. That thing costs all of it.
Curtis, the money there?
Boss, let me be. Hold on. I ain't debating about money. I'm saying to you now. You're asking me what have they done. I'm telling you about the pure destruction. You shouldn't even have to go back to fix nothing. Lutong Bewal is the perfect example. Our whole version look like, and even look sexier, where we could have got the drop wall, we got a nice barrier, people could have exercised, palm trees, bench, could have been past all of them. Nice moonlight tonight.
Agreed.
Good.
Of course. Agreed.
They say they're building some kind of jail. Mark Brantley get a whole lot of millions of dollars in Nevis. Look at Grove Park. We make kind of middle with the park. Look at Grove Park in Nevis. Mark tell us St. Kitts ain't gonna test cricketers. And he was right. But look at we stadium in St. Kitts. Why for the 7 years Mark ain't fight to get an international stadium in Nevis? Destruction.
That ain't destruction. But I want to ask you a question. So if that man was doing so bad, right? How that man get more support in a 2020 than in a 2015? I don't understand. Speak to me.
Hear me. Listen to me. When you got your hand on the money, the country purse, you could do what you want. When you got, that's why like America, because a lot of people have been implement. When you got your hand on the country money, you could do what you want. Send them on that. That's the facts. The videos is there.
So how they lose in 2022?
How they lose? Because people fed up.
So by that logic, you're telling me Labour can't lose because they got their hand on the post right now. So they
No. But King, hold on. I just give the whole idea. Listen to me. When you got your hand on the country money, when people fed up on you, anything is possible. Because even you have to deal with a woman, you can get all she want, but she can buy you.
Sir, you need to understand how both of those things cannot be true. You need to understand that is the case.
Oh!
Here's what you're saying.
It can't be true. That's the facts.
Here's what you're saying. You're saying in 2015, Unity come in and broke up the whole country from day one. I present to you and tell you, big man, 5 years later, I must see it's dengue. They had Unity is the most powerful government ever in the history. You know why? When Labour win 8, Labour now had 9 seats. Guess who had 9 seats?
King.
Guess who been better than them? This is what happened in the real reality. The only thing what was slow down Unity is when the man decide they're going to fire the Prime Minister. Let me be real about that.
Real?
But big man, you can't tell me that from the beginning they divide. And I'm going to show you 5 years later, stronger than anything ever in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis. And you're going to just ignore it. That's my problem. You can't just run over the good points on them. How come when you make a good point, me go say, Curtis, you got some. And when me got one, you can just like a seminar people. You go, that's the thing, you know? Because you remember how you start off. You remember how I want to remind you something. You start off and you say, bye, Nevis people, and think it people and all Abia people. Well, what I want you do, think for yourself, and when Alan make a good point to you, tell yourself, bye. Okay, I've been kind of well. It couldn't be for all the time. And that's how we go. Listen, hold on. As soon as but come in, you ever actually make somebody understand something, and they may come back and I tell you, they say, I understand why you're saying 1 + 1 is 2, but you know what has happened after the but.
Again, back again. And the team unity, what are some of the development that you see that they have done when it comes to infrastructure, work-wise? Your views, you can you give some?
Yeah, about sports, go back. No, go ahead. I didn't hear what you said properly.
The question again, what are some of the, since team unity came into with under PAM, Labour, the coalition, PLP, and CCM, what were some of the differences when it comes, whether it's crime, development, infrastructure, education, healthcare, road development, deep water ports, and all this different stuff? What were some of the positive that you see happen, and what are some of the negatives then? You can give some of both. You can give list five of each, and then we can command this no PAM government. That's how it. Apologize.
For some reason,
Labour government.
You kind of bring.
Can you list?
You said to me name five things that
positive and 5 negative that you don't like. 5 things that you like and 5 you don't like, and then we move into what do you like going on now within this new Labour administration. And some of the stuff that you don't like, and we can continue it in the SSZ. Are going to benefit most?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? Alan, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, man. Some reason me hear you clearly.
Okay, that over again, Curtis. Can you list a few of the stuff that you like about the community government? A few of the stuff that you like about the team unity government that will put in place, and some of the negatives and stuff like that. You can't just be 3 or 4 of each.
I want like about the team. Let me think.
Yes.
I like about the team in the government, but to be honest, let me see what I like about them. Because I try to think. I really try to think. Because you see, but I really try to think. I like about them.
Curtis, something
He's
not good have been done within the time, Curtis. No good have been done. When it comes to infrastructure, roads, education, and no good have been done on the team unity. That's what I'm asking. Okay, we'll list some of the negative that you like. That what you like. I'm apologize again.
Okay, wait.
So the negative that happened on the team unity.
Okay, sorry. They will surface the island main road.
So that's some of the like.
Was a good thing. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go the island main road. I like that.
Yeah.
That was because the road didn't need fixing. Yeah.
Record CBI revenue. Record CBI revenues.
Yeah, okay. Help me. Record CBI revenue. Yeah,
no, I don't want Alan to help you. Alan, I don't want to put words in a Curtis mouth.
He could help. I
don't want to help me. Never help you. I don't want Alan to put the camera. You are here to teach us. We're younger ones, so
he could help. It's a record CBI.
No.
Here we say.
Alan, keep out. This one, yeah.
Let me see.
What is your name?
Let me see.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to think.
You start off trying to say we are one nation. You weren't happy that we had hold on. You wasn't happy we had the most collaborative government.
But I wasn't happy about what? That? No, that couldn't please me.
Okay,
but hold on.
I just want you realize you is the man who want to say, by nearest people are be like you. Not in government. I'm not in federal government with Abi, but I'll be like,
No, but
that is what
Bridget,
I'm trying to tell you. Big man, it is very good that
Alan, hold
various
on.
people was in the government, and you
Patches
can't
wasn't, Patches wasn't the
find
Attorney
it to say that
General.
that been a good thing. You can't.
Hold on, Patches wasn't the Attorney General. Wait, these people.
You still, guys.
Patches was the attorney.
Calm down.
Patches was the Attorney General when Dougie realized, I losing votes. So here what I got to come over here with. And you're missing the point. All I'm trying to get you to say is that is a good thing, and you can't see him to say is a good thing.
No.
That one me say.
That can't be no good with you.
Because you like news people, but not in government. You know,
Curtis, I want to continue.
You just like the idea.
Well, okay. Curtis, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to this current Labour government. And what do you see from since transitioning from under Team Unity last 3 years? How have the country been moving forward, and what are some of the things that you see differently for the last going back from under Unity and under Labour? What do you see going on different now that you like and you'd want to see continue doing?
What I see, what I like.
Hold your point. I got a call coming in, Curtis. There's a call coming. Hold your point.
Mm-hmm.
Hold your point. Carla, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, man. Just looking to check, right? The question that's going to Curtis Crooke right now about the positives of Team Unity. Just let him, spell out some projects that he saw that they did and make it simpler like that. Make that question simpler on him to help him get to the answer. He may not want to give them any credit, but just let him list a few projects that they did or something like that to get the question answered quickly. Easier. Thanks, man. I'll come back in later.
I appreciate it. Curtis, you hear that question?
He said, what was the projects? What was the projects?
Yeah.
Yes.
Community?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm still thinking.
Okay, you see? So now
right.
you're
I'm still thinking.
Okay, so let's go into this Labour government now. No. Let's go into this present government. What are some of the stuff from the transition of the Team Unity leading up to this government? What are some of the changes have been put in place, and how is the economy sinks and navies moving forward since after those changes and stuff like that, and infrastructure? Same question. How is it?
Well, basically, the infrastructure at the moment. So you're asking about the present now. Presently now.
Yeah, hold the point. Hold the point. Let me take this call. Hold the point. Carl, can I turn down your radio in the background, please? You turn off in the background. Go ahead. Good evening. You're on the topics.
Good evening. Yes, good night.
Raise your voice, please. Can you raise your voice? Raise your voice.
Yeah. Good night, Yahsonn and Bankie.
Yes.
The other gentleman and Mr. Crooke.
Yes.
Mr. Crooke, I'm looking at you right now, and to me, you're fumbling to bring out answers, whether it's a negative or a positive. But I would have liked to know, comparing the previous administration to this administration, because remember, administration made offers to the people while they are in power. The masses put them in power. Now, promises are comfort for fools. How would you say what Timothy had promised, and I mean Timothy Team Unity, versus what Labour administration promised? Who was more to trust now that one has passed and now one in power? Because the one in power override the previous administration. So how would you compare that? Because I personally going to tell you, one never miss water until the well run dry. And what Timothy was offering was the best of any administration. Now look at Labour. They made promise. What have they done? Whether it's in the infrastructure, whether healthcare, whether it's the pact that Team Unity introduced, and probably might have go back further. I don't know all the history. I just came in on the radar recently. But let me introduce, my name is Winston Welcome, and I'm an independent candidate for the next upcoming election. But answer those questions. How will you compare Team Unity to the present administration? And I will leave it there. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Carla. Curtis, can you can hear?
Yeah, I hear some of what you say. It's your infrastructure.
Yes.
So far, you got the Monkey Hill Road.
Okay.
You can hear me? Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
You got the Monkey Road. You're supposed to be starting the Boston High School. You also have the new hospital supposed to be on its way. Right?
Where is that gonna be? Where is the new hospital gonna be at? Which area?
Outside of Ross University.
Okay.
I don't know if you know where Ross University is. Right?
Yes.
I said they just finished the Monkey Hill Road there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a housing scheme going on at the moment. Not sure exactly.
Where is that? Where is that happening? I know they have started about there was this groundbreaking where they have 2,400 homes in what 5 years, which will be 600 homes in every year. I mean, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, they got
That's
some
what
houses
that's what
building there
talking about. But I'm asking if that's the housing scheme you're talking about, the one with the housing scheme you're speaking of, is it 2,400 homes in 5 years? That's the same one you're speaking of?
they're supposed to be doing that, yeah. You have they're building some houses in Newtown, some town hall house in Newtown.
Okay. So how do you feel about the development of and what's going on within the country when it comes to how do the people feel now coming under a different Labour government among the Team Unity? Is the people think it's feeling the energy they get it? They feel like the country is booming. Work is a lot of work where people can't find enough work. How is things going?
Well, to be honest, people doesn't feel like they're feeling the energy. That's what how people feel.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Why would I say? But why is that?
They don't think that. I don't think they think that enough happening. You know.
What do you mean enough happening? What do you mean by that enough is not happening? What do you see enough happening?
In terms
what do you mean by
well, for me?
Yes.
I'm saying they feel that things are not enough in happening in terms of country-wise. They don't think that the government is doing enough. And I think they could do more.
I'm asking you of one who give a perfect, I mean, an overview in a sense from you move on every day and people complain. Do you see they have some truth in what they're saying? Do you see enough doing? More could be done to speed up the economy if things are slow.
I think a lot more could and I think a lot more could be done to try and speed up the economy. Yes.
Like what? What like what? Like what? What would you like to see happening? What would some of these things you would like to see happen to speed up the economy?
More, we need to find we need construction need to start to be happening. We need to start doing more construction. We need to find ways to the tourism season need to start to pick back up again. That could help the economy. The airlift, the same thing into here. That could help the economy. Try to get more more cruise ship need to be coming more. I think that could help also speeding up the economy.
So with more cruise ship, we're going to need an next cruise boat, an next cruise pay. The pay.
No. I'm just saying, we just if you could get some more meaning. Next time every day we got 3, 4, 5 at a time. We have to pay to be good enough. Right, increase more cruise ship, and then
So why are
You
not
could,
these things happening then? So why you think they're not doing these things? Why would you think these things are not happening
well,
for
let's
like for the
see.
last
No,
2 years?
you say what? No, remember. No,
Uh-huh.
remember we got into new pool season now. Last pool season down.
Yes.
I'm saying we got
But
into
I
new
mean
pool season now.
development
So let's
wise.
see
I
for
mean
this new
development
pool.
wise with infrastructure, construction. I guess you mean whether it is construction in a hotel, a large development. So why are these things not
That,
happening?
but we need, I think, well, they're supposed to be starting hotel. We need more hotel. We need more airlift. The hotels bring the airlift.
Yes.
So we need
Yahsonn
to
been
find
quiet,
ways to bring more airlift.
No, I'm listening to the
Yahsonn,
conversation. I'm listening to the conversation, and
yeah, I want
I
to hear
am
I want to hear you too.
I am also taking in the comments, and so I think we have a very active comment section. So I think I'll probably give you guys an opportunity to take a breather and so on. I'll go through some of these
Yes.
comments and so on. So, well, I started with
Appreciate
the YouTube comments, but I'll go through some of the Facebook comments. So we have Larry Wharton saying, "Good evening, cuz Alan." Karim Hanley says he don't know what he's saying point blank. Larry Wharton says, "I believe SKN is partially independent because they still have to answer to the UK." We have Charles Gaskell saying Thatcher was in many ways was a visionary, but yeah, very forceful. He stopped remittances to Anguilla when the Anguillans agitated for separation from St. Kitts. Anguilla never had the same plantation history like St. Kitts and Nevis had, so they maybe found it harder to relate well to Thatcher and his forcefulness. Then we had um, Anthony Woodley says this is a clown show. Then we have Charles Gaskell saying, "Excuse my manners. I joined late through difficulty finding the link. Good night and blessings to all. I love Curtis' courage and give credit to him for listening back. Listening back is a skill we all benefit from more of." Charles Gaskell says, "I don't think Thatcher owned any critique, albeit when deserved. In history, this is a common character feature of strongman leadership." Anthony Woodley says, "Curtis doesn't listen to understand, he listens to reply." Charles Gaskell again saying, "The people," let's see, that's a longer comment. Okay, so let me expand it. "The people benefiting now from the roads are not just those who owned the land. Taxis, water taxis, and many others, Park Hyatt employees, local businesses, owners and employees alike. Sometimes a benefit doesn't manifest in 2 years' time. That's why development requires astute vision." Shante Book says CBI and SIDF are two different entities. The SIDF is the Sugar Industry Diversification Fund, which was basically funded by the CBI. So that's the correction or explanation for that which we were seeking to clarify a little bit earlier on in the program. Back to some of the comments on the YouTube wall. Mighty servant again, Alan, the nation is the people. Curtis is giving his input as a citizen. The people, he seems not to be speaking as the governing body or country, but as a citizen. He can merely say it as he sees it. Bobby Jones says, "I don't agree that when unity started, it divided the people. It was a new concept to move Douglas and the Labour Party. It was a phenomenon. A country was electrified and mobilized." Bobby Jones says that the goal was accomplished by the people coming together. So how could that movement divide the people? Lots of people will beg to differ here. Of course, the Team Unity government did some stuff. You cannot discredit them and said that they didn't do anything and divided the people. Bobby Jones again says one big point that the Team Unity did was pay off that IMF debt that was significant for the country. And secondly, they brought back lands. They bought back lands lost in the lands for debt swap. Ellie too, that's Elvan. Ellie says the issue Curtis is having, he's using a Bluetooth headphone. Curtis, when you get a chance, get a wired headphone, Bluetooth pin to have a lot of intermittency. Okay. Burby Jones says,
Not using a Bluetooth headphone.
he said, Burby Jones, tell him, Alan, about the Unity construct. Unity was doing great even during COVID. Remember, the nation didn't see the cracks until later on. Burby Jones, but up until the cracks started showing, Team Unity was strong. The great question, Bankie, let him itemize some of the positives of Team Unity. There must be some. Mighty Servant says, whilst I am not in agreement with Curtis on the way he is answering the question, I am in full support of Curtis giving his opinion. Curtis is giving his position. It is for the panel to rebuff. Mighty Servant says, rebuff by pointing out facts and not equally giving opinions, not saying this is done. Jane says, people has their biases based on the government of the day and who they support. And this is just, some of the comments that we are seeing on the wall. And, the Real Entertainment Network is encouraging folks to not to forget to like and follow our page for more great content. And whether it's the Facebook page or the Twitch page or the YouTube channel, we welcome you to like all three, as a matter of fact, and share it. And we want to say good evening to all those who may be logging on for the first time and or, not necessarily so familiar to the platform. But this evening we have DeTopiks, and we have our original host, Alan, with us. And we also have our special guest, Curtis Crooke, who is giving us a bit of history, or has given us a bit of history about himself, a little bit about how he got interested in cricket and sports and, being a very outspoken person, and also how he got interested in politics, and also started to give us a history of the...
I have a call coming in there, Yahsonn.
Let's take the call.
Carla, good evening. Welcome.
Yes, good night again, Yahsonn, Bankie, and the other gentleman.
Yeah, keep your voice up. Keep your voice up.
Welcome again. Mr. Crooke, I need to know. It's now 3 years since the Labour administration is in power, running the country, so to speak. And how do you feel of the governance so far, moving forward for another 2 years? Now, looking at the advisors around the Prime Minister, even the Attorney General, and other members of the...
You on the phone? I could ask a question.
Carla, hold on.
Hold
on. You go ahead.
I want to ask one question. I got the person.
Hold on. Hold on.
Sorry, yeah.
Hold on, Carla. He want to ask a question.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. Because just before you ask him, ask him about the question. How you would feel when the Prime Minister, Curtis Crooke, an ordinary citizen, take away my airport ID and call me a high risk and refuse me of working in the country where I'm born and from? That's what I get.
You understand the question, Carla?
How you would feel?
No, he was asking you.
Curtis Crooke.
No, listen. Curtis was asking you, there was one time under the Team Unity government where the Prime Minister at the time, Dr. Timothy Harris, had take away. I'm not saying he did it, the airport manager at the time or whatever, something like that institution. He had lost his airport ID. Well, I can't say that. He lost his job working at the airport. I understand. He lost his job at the airport, and it's alleged he's saying it was instructed by the former Prime Minister. And how do you feel about that? And he was also labeled a high risk person working at the airport.
I was working for government.
Okay, he was working for a private institution at the airport, and he was labeled a high risk person working at the airport, and which you worked there for over what, 14 years, over 10 years?
15 years.
Up to 15 years.
Zero on my files.
Yes. Who wanted to
Never
know how
worked
do
for
you
the
feel
government,
about
working
that?
for TDC.
I personally cannot speculate because I don't have the facts in that
Of course.
respect.
Yes.
So
You just hear the facts. And the facts.
Yes.
Intervention, so to speak.
Of course. And of course.
If you feel
But make it,
that the performance,
yes, but make your point, Carla. Make your point. 1 more minute, 30 seconds. Make your point.
if you feel your performance was satisfactory and you got terminated for some other reason contrary to your performance, then you could make your argument about that. But I personally can't make.
Boss, I wasn't working for the government.
10 seconds,
When you finish, I'll explain.
Carla. 10 seconds.
When you finish, I'll explain.
Go ahead. 10 seconds.
I yield it back to you, Bankie.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for calling. Okay, Curtis.
Could I explain?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was not working. First thing, let me make it clear to the guy. I wasn't working for the airport. So my performance, I was working for the government. So there's no performance with the government. The job was to go to the airport and work for TDC. Never had an issue at the airport. Not there.
Hold your thought. Hold your thought. I mean, take this next caller. Caller, good evening.
Let me get back to that question.
Yes.
You put in a situation, right? He just said he wasn't working for the government. So how could the government be instrumental in firing him and the government is not his employer?
He will explain himself. He will explain himself.
Yes, so I'll get back in later. Thanks.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Curtis.
I wasn't working for the government. To go to the airport, you have an ID. You see me go to the back, you have to show your ID to them. So what Timothy did, what they did, Timothy, Patches, Mark, them three, all of them was in charge. They decided because of talking, was trying to get TDC to fire me. TDC refused firing me. So then he said, okay, then since TDC not going to fire him, here we're going to do. We're going to take away the airport pass. There's no grounds, have no incident at the airport, never getting anything on anybody. So they decide, you know what, he ain't going to work on this airport here. So they take away the pass. That's what happened. I worked this Tuesday night left tonight. Wednesday morning, they said, go to the airport, go down to the bus. The ID was revoked with immediate effect the following day. No explanation. With a letter, say your ID revoked with immediate effect, you're high risk at the airport. They say, okay, we're going to fire Mr. Crooke, we put him in a different department. But in that, these people can't understand. You know, I just said to you, Virgin.
Of course.
That's exactly what took place. So I'm making it clear tonight again to the public. I was not working for the government. I was working for a private company. Just like a pilot working for Liat. You have to go to the airport, to the ramp, you need the airport ID. Just like a man working for, the girl working for a private company at the airport, they need an ID. So what they did is to take the ID, write a letter, say I'm a high risk, I'm a threat. So I just trying to explain to the person here. My work performance has nothing to do with the port. I was working for the port. As a matter of fact, I never had any incident on the port. So move on. Let's make sure I make that clear.
So you wasn't fired either?
Huh?
So you weren't fired either?
Yes, Alan?
You didn't lose your job either?
So you understand. Wait, hear me. Hold on. You're the lawyer, Alan. Hear what happened. They was telling TDC to fire me. They thought when they took the ID, TDC going to say, why this man is getting in trouble so we can fire him. TDC do the homework, and they realized 25 years, nothing was on my files at TDC. So TDC, okay, we're going to fight with the port. They put me up building materials. But for a whole year, for the time being, I couldn't get no other job.
Okay. We're sorry to hear about
because
that.
Because the ID, me work was on the airport.
Well, I have a question for you. And you never went to an attorney about this?
Yeah, I went to an attorney to tell you what happened to the government. I don't deal with that. I'm just showing you how
Well,
what
no,
happened.
hold on.
Some people got the wrong
Listen,
concept.
hold on, sir. Hold on. So you went to an attorney. You brought a legal action.
Well, the government changed, so I couldn't bring the legal action.
Oh, sir. No. Maybe you're trying to say that you don't want to sue labor for no reason at all. But, sir,
No. I'm not saying that meaning. What I'm saying, listen.
no.
Hold on.
Government
Let me
change.
explain.
Government.
I went to an attorney and already dealt with. But I'm just saying it wasn't like he went to the court and all that. That's all I'm saying, Alan. Story done.
Sir, for that year when you was out of pocket, as far as I know, there is a legal claim that you could make to get restitution for what happened to you. Now, if nothing happened, I want you to understand that as serious as this be, you don't have any grounds for a violation. No? You got grounds to talk and say it was uncomfortable. And you even sound like you're apologetic now, sympathetic now, because you're saying, well, he done gone. So,
No. That's what I said. I said to you, when Labour got in power, the process went on. But he went to no court and all of that. That's what I'm saying to you. But I'm saying the
and
point I'm making in all of this,
what I'm saying to you is
Wait,
that
Alan,
you had a year,
Alan,
and you
Alan, the point I'm making in a nutshell, Alan, it should have never end up
when
where the
you don't
ID
talk,
was taken
I
away.
want to talk free.
Yeah, but I'm saying to Alan, the end result is that the point I'm saying, it should have never end up in that kind of situation. I'm just trying to show you how nasty politicians could be. That's the bottom line. I don't need to go through that again. The issue here is that it should never end up you take away my ID for talking.
Sir.
Point
That's all I'm
taken,
saying.
Curtis. Point
Sir,
taken. Point taken. Point
Thank
taken.
you. Continue.
when things happen that should not happen, what I am suggesting to you is we living with laws, and there is places you could go to get a remedy for what happened. No, if what happened ain't rise to the level that you feel like that need to happen, and whole year you had on. So if you say that in a rise to the level there, it own at this point, all you're telling me is it rise to the level of you talking about it.
Curtis,
Because
we
me
want
try
to
to
move
tell
on to
you,
the next question.
you being sympathetic
Yeah,
because you said, well,
I don't
you
this.
get man,
Yes.
you said, I say be.
We got,
Nevis people
okay.
that
All
say,
I'm
well,
saying,
listen, go ahead.
that should never
Yeah,
happen.
We're going to
me
move
gonna
on.
mute them,
Curtis,
mic.
Curtis,
Nevis people gonna mute them, mic. Go ahead, all right.
Curtis, we're gonna move on. Right now, we're going on right now. I mean, there was legislation passed, bill passed where the federal government, along with the NIA, will move. Well, both islands have the opportunity to move into large development with a special sustainable zone, which could take place in St. Kitts and which potentially might be taking place in Nevis, going on where land is being purchased and different stuff to have a large development where would can accommodate up to 10 or more thousand people. What is the feedback, or how do you feel about this legislation passed within the Labour government that going on right now? How do you feel about something like that?
Boy, when it comes to the people, land, I believe the people supposed to own the land. The land shouldn't be up and down the place. The people in this country, the offspring and the spring should hold on to the land. I remember look on with the land for that swap thing, I was watching on. Some people are very passionate. Some people are making the idea that at the end of the day, the land belongs to us. The land belongs to us. People fought to get the land. In Nevis, you all fight for our land over there. In St. Kitts, I don't think we should just be giving away land willy-nilly. We come too far, and I ain't supporting that. The people of this country supposed to own the land. That's just my humble opinion on that situation. The police,
You might muted
the land
Bankie.
shouldn't just give up like that.
Your mic is on mute, Bankie.
The land,
Yes, thanks.
the
Thanks
land
for that.
should not just give. The land should not just give up like that. The people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis should hold on
But
to
there,
and we should hold the land.
but it is, but there is some that is said that the island, but island people to encourage more taxes and stuff like that and providing more work. So we probably need the next 100,000 people within the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, just like Bermuda and some of those places.
So the land, so get the land to bring that.
If what?
So get the land to so get the land to bring that.
Large developments, like the SSZ, something like those kind of development with special privilege and stuff like that within that area. So, but remember, this is under this government now, you know. That's what I'm asking. So this is
but somebody was asking the question, what was the special privilege?
Yes.
What gonna be the special privilege in them same areas? Somebody asked that. Yeah, what gonna be the special privilege? Somebody asked that the other day. That's the question. Is it to get people that want to be there? What is the special privilege?
Well, we don't have some of the privilege. Some of the privilege.
These men they don't sit down and come up with plans. King, when you're coming up with certain plans, everybody must be involved.
Yes. Curtis.
Everybody must be involved.
Curtis,
yeah.
You could name one village for me in a St. Kitts wanna get people in there? One.
No, man, I'm not against get people.
Oh.
Don't think against the people.
You just know want all of them together. Me just try to make sure me understand what's going on. No. Because
you're very technical here.
No.
Somebody asked the question. I said someone asked the question. I didn't say that is what I'm just saying. What is the special? I just use an example. Somebody asked the question. So I'm asking the same question.
I don't feel like we should step on this because you don't read the law yet. You don't read the law?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
I do not feel like we should stick.
I've been listening. I've been listening.
Sir, it's only 9 pages. You watch out.
Yahsonn, you be quiet. Come back in, man. Come back in. Yahsonn, where you want to go? Yahsonn, come back in. You're quiet this evening. Where you want to go?
I am listening to the engagement and I am loving the conversation so far. I am hearing Curtis's response in terms of the land issue and how he feels about the land issue and so on. But
he's against it. It's obviously he's against it. He not see don't sanction it. So Curtis, therefore, you appeal. You want the bill to be appealed then?
Well,
yeah, we need to get more.
You asking for me to repeal the law? I'm asking if you wanted to direct in the Prime Minister. Huh?
But can we? Can we?
Of course, anything can be done. Well,
you think it will be done?
Are you asking for that to happen?
Well, but I think the people should hold on the land in a brother. That is my me as a humble man. That's my opinion. I think so.
Yeah.
They will keep the land.
Yahsonn, go ahead.
Well, it's interesting to hear his position. That is one of the positions. That's a position held by.
Yeah, let me take this call here, Yahsonn. Let me take this call here. Carlo, good evening. Yes, go ahead, caller. Be brief.
Yeah.
Be brief, please.
Mr. I'm going to be brief. I'm going to be brief. You're welcome again. Yes. I align with the fact that you said the land should be for the natives and the indigenous. Okay? I agree. But in your humble opinion, if you have that feeling, why don't you speak out against it? Because you know about it. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, as a candidate for the next upcoming election, I will repeal special SSC. Because the land is for the indigenous citizens who are there and their offspring moving forward. So why are you silent about it? Why can't you speak out about it? Every voice means a lot.
10 seconds, caller.
My brother,
Whether you for or against, there are that
it's injustice. It's injustice. It's injustice.
and I'm talking about tonight.
It's injustice.
Is to have
It's injustice.
a voice in respect to that. Without fortune or favor or fear. I'll leave it there.
All right, thank you, caller. Go ahead, Yahsonn. Curtis,
You know,
any
I was saying, it's interesting to listen to the call.
You have the phone name
Somebody
busy,
speaking?
busy, by Curtis. You have the phone name busy. People them love you. I can't get break. People that love you, Curtis. Go ahead, Curtis.
I was saying, it's
Yes.
interesting to see the caller saying today that I should speak on. And he's right. And
Yes.
one thing about me, I don't be afraid to speak. But I could know
Yes.
over the 7 years, there were a lot of people seeing the same wrong. I speak and I don't speak, I don't fit the top. I think I'm in live and something at the top, what's going on? But the same people today now telling me to speak was very silent for 7 years. Very silent for 7 years. But me today, were accustomed to speak, never afraid to speak, was speaking then, I get shut down, and still speaking now. But were they speaking then? Were they speaking then? 6 man get kicked out of a party in the 6. Were they speaking? Would they say anything? Did they say anything? Them in even the show, them out here in the show paper. Where was the big uproar? But did anybody speaking out? I'm not saying I always speak. I speak about issue in my community, wait, even off at the top. We had, let me go before I go, let me find this final thing. We end up with the Kennedy Simmons Highway. Did Kennedy Simmons ever name anything off a batch of 15 years? I said no more. Nobody speak out then. Continue, guys.
Yeah, Banky, you might muted. But you know, it's really
Let me
interesting.
take this call, Yahsonn. Let me take this call. Caller, go ahead.
Okay, let me take a bridge.
Yes, be brief, caller. Be brief, please.
Well, let me get this position in historical context with the land debt swap, and we bring it forward to the SSC law right now, because you got to realize the law is a federal law; it's not just a Nevis law, right?
But he just spoke on the law. He just spoke on the law. He just said he wanted to appeal it, if it's possible. That he did spoke on that.
One quick thing is, he said he like to stand up for his rights, right? And this land issue is a national issue, right? Why couldn't we see him in the streets with the other persons that was protesting against this law? And I recently heard him make a comment on his podcast saying that, and I quote him, he said that he will not protest with these people, but he would only protest by himself. Can he talk to that or clarify that statement?
Of course. I appreciate the call. Thank you. Curtis?
Yeah. What you said, I said I would never possess with them people, but I would possess by myself.
Yes.
Well, I don't know the person following me. When they take me airport, I was protesting by myself. When I lose my job with TDC with the COVID, I was protesting by myself. So what happened now? There was Pam. Pam was a part of taking them airport ID. Team Unit was a part of taking them airport ID. CCM was a part of taking them airport ID. So why now I going to protest with them? That could make any sense? When I was speaking and all the injustice, what was going on, everybody was quiet, and today I'm still speaking. When I didn't need voices, there was no voices. I always stand alone in the brother. It's only trial. When I was speaking then, everybody could go back and check my podcast. And everybody listen to me now. I speak in the same way. I'm a labor person, but I'm not afraid to call it and say what I feel. So I don't know if that person ever paid attention. When I lost my airport ID, I was speaking, standing by myself. When TDC told me if not taking a vaccine, was the same person again, was in town. Everybody forget the one man protest. So how now I could go in town with Shani, Nubian? Well, Marisha, make sure Marisha be so I can't protest with Marisha. Marisha is a flip flop. But how I go town? Where? The panel for unity? I mean, come on. We gotta be real king. But I ain't afraid to speak on labor, on unity, and PAM. But all of a sudden, that's the point I'm making now. Everybody today wants to tell you what to say. The same people who was here tonight were seeing all what was going on in the injustice then. Were they protesting? We hear Mark on a program disrespecting a lady. Did anybody get on bad? Did the same people call Mark and tell him, Mark, you're disrespectful? Did anybody call Tim and Patsy used to be on the show and get it on and tell Patsy disrespectful? I mean, that's what I'm saying. We got to be either we're going to be down the middle or we're going to cross up. If people want to tell you what to say, no. They're in power, so they want to tell you what to say when you labor. I can say what, but not what people want me to say. Then I'm not afraid to speak out and say if it's wrong. But some of these people they were willing to speak out then, but they're willing to speak out now. We can't guide so. That's why I like Alan. Alan gonna tell you what he gotta tell you. Ain't got a problem with Alan. He talk about labor, he talk about CCM, he talk about happiness. That's how we're supposed to go. But some of these people here today, where was them?
Okay,
Where was
got you,
them?
Curtis.
Understandable.
Understandable.
Thank you.
Yes. Yahsonn, any more comments? While you're at it?
Well, yeah, we got okay, so my mighty servant says we just for Curtis is there and they should pursue it, but it's a hard reality that the government is in position to draw this out, that Curtis will lose if compensated and lawyers will win either way. Booba Love says it failed in South Africa, it will fail here too. Focus. The narrative a few years ago was geothermal. It was said that geothermal would bring development as far as Puerto Rico. No, it's the SSZ. Booba Love saying, how did the opposition and the government came together to create this SSZ? One is usually yeah and the other is usually nay, but both is saying yeah to SSZ and laughing. Well, there's another comment that says, LOL bipartisan nice and fair share just for opposing. We've got, okay, I think I saw something from Charles Gaskin again. Okay, Jetty Taylor says, government wants the clearance to get the ID. People really play smart. I understand, Curtis. The airport is what's called the sponsor. The government is the continuous. TDC is the tenant, and tenants' employees has to go through the sponsor to get their ID. The sponsor is the government, and they do the background check to verify the ability to clear the personnel to work on the AOA per FAA guidelines. Charles Gaskell says, Curtis, I agree. Nothing is more valuable in the long term than land ownership. The 9-page SSZ Act is an affront to the history and future of our people. And Jetty Taylor said, welcome, want free welcome, want free airtime. As a candidate, he should shell out some cash for airtime. So welcome, maybe the man say you need to pay some sponsorship to the platform, because you're looking airtime. But anyway, Charles Gaskell says, Curtis, what do you think could bring a stop to the tribal insularity that prevents one party crediting the other and vice versa in the interest of continuing a positive development thread? This is a key long-term issue for positive development as a people. And so these are some of the comments that's in the thread, and I must say that the comment section was very active this evening, and guys, we have actually exceeded the 2-hour timeline. We are now 2 hours and 9 minutes actually. So Curtis, it is obvious based on the feedback and participation that we definitely would have to have you back sometime in the not too distant future for a part 2 segment at some point. And we want to give you the opportunity to maybe give your final wrap-up statements, and then we would have Alan and Bankie give their closing comments, or if anything you want to comment on also in relation to some of the comments that were just read, and or anything you want to add to it in your last minute or two. I think probably a minute or two would be good enough for everybody to wrap up, so that at least we could finish by in the next 5 minutes. Sorry.
Well, so, yes. I want to say thanks to all the people who shared their comments. I applaud everything what you guys said. I respect everybody's comments. Because everybody gonna like what I say. Some gonna like, some gonna dislike. That's the way how life go. I always strive myself to tell people I don't keep no malice in my heart. I have one person say what I have to say, just like everybody was saying tonight. So it's nothing personal for me. I love people, and I say. I want to thank you guys for having me on the program. Alan, is nice sitting here with you tonight. I think one of these days when I come to Nevis, as I'll be Nevis regular, we could sit down and have normal chat again. I like to conversate with you, Alan. You're very technical, you're very versed. I could learn a lot from you too. So I appreciate, you guys having me, the other guy, the host. And I just realized the guy here, the next guy who on the show. Yeah, I remember me when he used to work for Signal just in the face. We used to have some good times when he used to work on the catamaran. So I want to thank you guys again. But I'll be away for a couple of weeks. My old age, I'm going to Jamaica to play some cricket. So looking forward to that in the next couple of weeks. Right. And thank you guys again for having me. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And all the people who, the comments and I want to thank you all for giving me ideas, for saying things, encouraging me, it ain't everything you say I like, it ain't everything I dislike, but that's the way life go. Thank you guys again. From the bottom of my heart, and I appreciate it. Enough love. Peace out.
Yes, man. No problem.
Appreciate it.
And we definitely welcome you, and we'd want to have you back at some point. Alan, you're wrapping up and closing.
Curtis, one kind of thing maybe want to know was what was your issue with Azad or not? Because I had an issue with Azad. I had an issue, but I don't know what was your issue.
No, the issue was simple. I realized every time they come on a pumping, it's all about the drug batching down the jail. If you tend to do, Anguilla, Nevis, I think we need to, let's move on. Let us, because my thing too is that Batchel's family, just I keep saying to him, you have people in Nevis to pass on, have family. We don't want to go back with the negative, especially in that kind of way. Is everything about Anguilla, Batchel, the hate Nevis, Batchel? Let us kind of be a little bit more respectable to the man. He pass on.
I feel like that's not going to be possible. I do understand what you're saying.
I understand, but I'm saying, but you should not. But we got respect, because it's not me talking about Billy, but I can say so much about Billy.
I don't hear about Billy too. But my thing is it. if we gonna be talking about the truth, which is one of the things then where you say you don't deal with, I will be free to tell you that Bradshaw contributed definitely and should be remembered. But the other side of the thing is, from the Nevis and Anguilla perspective, you can't just give me the bed of roses and not tell me that the man had in a little bit a thing against us. Because and anytime we trying to talk about that part there, and you know want to hear about that part there, we can't correspond. And
Simon, did you a bounce check? Simon, did you a bounce check? Simon, did you a position when there was none?
Did Bradshaw prefer to go England? He tell Abi go do it exactly. That's and hear what me try to tell you.
But you say I just said that you say so if you say
hold on, man. God, you see how when you've been a wrap up, you just get to talk. Hear what going on.
I got back.
All what me say is when we talk about Bradshaw, we could say the good. And we got to be able to say the bad too. You see how you say Simmons born to check? Me not a problem. Me not a problem say you do bad. I could count out to you and tell you some things what Simmons do Abi too. To defend Hazard in another moment there. I want you to understand that the question that was asked of Hazard was what Pam do no. So you can ask Hazard what Pam do and he tell you, well, Bradshaw. So I just want you to be a little fair with him on that aspect there. It wasn't like he came to talk bad about Bradshaw, but the man them asked him about Pam. The thing what me being concerned about with Hazard was that Hazard come and Hazard want to tell me everything where the leader say. And my problem is I watch Hazard and me say, Hazard, you a man. You supposed to got things where you ever contribute. And you see how democracy is supposed to be, right? Is that we supposed to agree by everyone push the thing forward. It's just a matter some people might want to push it forward through different means. But overall, we're trying to push this thing in a forward direction. It's just that you might want it, you might want to push them early in the morning. Me might say, boy, I'll be push them when the sun go down. But regardless, we're trying to go in this positive direction. And I didn't like that fool Hazard to tell me the direction he are going in. He got to tell me what the leader say. Well, then Labby got on the leader then. Since you know,
maybe we'll have to invite her for the next session. Yeah. So that's something that we have to work at.
And I bet you the leader not gonna say Hazard say. The leader won't tell Labby what he said.
All right, so that's Alan giving his wrap up. And you know, it's always an exciting show. Alan was one of the original hosts of this DeTopiks, and so it's always interesting when we have Alan in on the program. We wanna give Bankie an opportunity to wrap up and give his closing remarks as we are seeking to wrap up this edition of DeTopiks, a very fiery and interesting and informative and educational session here this evening. So, Bankie, you're closing.
Yes, first of all, I just want to thank Curtis Crooke for being a part, accepting the invitation for being a part of Real Entertainment and the topics. I must say, Curtis, you had me hand busy today with the phone, my virgin. People them keep calling, which means they want to converse with you some more, and we really appreciate it. I mean, you come, you give a point of view, and you know, and that's what it's all about. And you stand your ground, and that's it's just come to educate the people, your views, and the different parties over the years, government, and how you see it, and stuff like that. And those are your point of view, and that is respected in a sense. Those with their comments, those who listening, viewing, and continue sharing the link. Appreciate you. Also, I want to play a little, just 1 minute, 30 seconds of our guest for next week. He's a young man in St. Croix who want to get into run into for governorship. Chang Sikayu. So just want to hear a commentation for next week Tuesday.
I am Chikairo, a proud son of the Virgin Islands. I am not a politician. I am a hard-working man, just like you. Over time, I have watched elderly struggle and our youth lose hope. I never had planned to run for office, but I spoke up against corruption, the violence, and the greed. And the people listened, and they asked me to lead. And I've realized maybe this isn't politics. Maybe this is purpose. So I am letting you know and everybody know that I will be running for governor for the 2026 election. This isn't about power. This is about change, real change for our youths, our elderly, for all of us. We may not have all the money, but with unity, we can't lose. So let we take back our future. Together, it's the time for a new kind of leadership, people. A leadership that is grounded by honesty and integrity and real people. Let me tell you something, right? Every generation must try. Because someday we're going to get it right. I need you to back me on this. I need you to stand with me as I stand with you, marching with you, pushing for you. Together, we can build a Virgin Islands where our youths are empowered, our elderly are respected.
Yahsonn? Yes, so definitely that will be our guest for next week, Tuesday. So definitely looking for that interview. And next young man stepping up to the plate where he can make a difference in his community. And that is what we want to happen in more young people like this gentleman coming out, standing up as independent candidate, making a difference and changing the status quo where just lawyers, doctors, and all different. Anyone have the right in his native citizens have the right to run for office. And it's about time the young ones them stand up and represent their people. So definitely pick up the youth on that. So definitely that'll be next week Tuesday. Share the link, share the flyer with Sikayo. And Curtis, I want to thank you again. Yahsonn?
Yeah, man, Bankie, I just want to say thanks to everybody. I want to say, a very special thanks to all those who, comment, whether it's on the Facebook page or the YouTube platform or Twitch TV. We really appreciate you, all those who called in and participate. Without you guys, we have no show. At least we will be feeling like we are, not talking to anybody. So we really appreciate you guys being a part of the technical team. I see as Bankie playing, the clip there, the technician was able to, bring up the flyer and put it on the screen. So we really got to tip our hats to the Real Entertainment Network team. A lot of work happened behind the scenes. People really don't know the kind of commitment that this team really put out to make this thing happen. And so we got to tip our hats to Reese and Ira and Chev and all the other people behind the scenes who do what they got to do. Alan, give thanks for jumping on and being on with us this evening. And we look forward to you guys being with us on Friday for another edition of Everything Agriculture coming up at 7 p.m. And then next week, Tuesday, we just showed you the clip that's going to be aired. And so we look forward to having you Friday and another edition right here on Real Entertainment Network. So everybody, enough love, guidance, and protection.
You really showed me think with your heart, don't think with your body clever. Sorry not sorry, sorry not Justin Timberlake, write me a river. Lately I be having conversations